and one.
Hi, you're back with the Cultural Divide. Lauren here, and we are still at the Redefining Manhood in Education workshop. I'm actually standing here with one of the attendees, Mr. Rodney Lindsay.
How you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So we grabbed Rodney because we wanted to get his take on why he came here today, what he's learning, and what he hopes to walk away with. So tell me how you learned about today's event.
Well, I was referred to the conference by Mr. Albert Lewis and Ms. Sandra Bobo, who is my assistant principal.
Okay.
And I've worked with her for a few years in middle school, and now this is my first year working with her in high school.
Okay.
And you know, I'm a man, and I'm in the educational field. I'm trying to find ways to reach students in a different manner. You know, meeting them where they are.
Yeah. Okay. So tell me about what you're learning today so far, what you've walked away with.
Oh man, the first session was awesome. It was about restorative practices, and restorative practices, you know, sitting in there, and I'm talking to the presenter, and please forgive me, I just left out of there, I forgot the brother's name, but he was great. He was great. He's a Principal Charles Kerr. So I was in there, and some of the things he was saying about restorative practices are things that I've already been doing, but now I have a meaning behind it and more of a history behind restorative practices. I was just doing it because it was in my nature of things I wanted to do for my community. So it was great. It was a great first session for me.
Okay, so you are a man of color in education.
Yes.
What do you teach? What are you doing right now?
I actually teach life skills because I'm a parent engagement assistant. So I'm not actually in the classroom, but I interact with students and parents all day, every day.
Okay.
I'm also a coach, an athletic coach at the school. So I have a duty to these young men and women each and every day. So life skills to me are some of the important things that we get away from as educators. We think math, reading, social studies, but we forget a lot of the important things which we're lacking in. If we watch the news and see what's going on, or just take a walk through the neighborhood, we see the things that we're actually lacking in, and life skills to me is important. So that's what I focus on, and trying to, you know, mix the two.
Okay. Talk to me about the importance of being a man of color and being able to reach students on a daily basis. Why do you do what you do? Why are you doing what you do? Tell me your personal.
It was somebody that reached out to me.
Okay.
You know, when I was cutting up in school, and I deserved to be suspended, maybe expelled for some of the things that I did in school. But it was somebody else that gave me a chance and didn't just throw me away and push me outside, but, you know, helped me understand why my behaviors weren't behaviors of a young man trying to become a man. So, you know, that really helped me. And I went on to college, and, you know, I never thought I would do that.
Wow.
You know, I'm a single mom, a teenage mom at that, so I never really thought that I would be able to do that. And so now just to be able to come back and talk to these young men and women, it's an honor. And like I tell the young men I work with, I'm a father. I have a daughter, I have nieces, and one day she's going to be dating a young man. I want it to be a young man and not a young hoodlum or thug. So as a man, it's my responsibility to pour back in my community. Somebody did it for me.
That's beautiful. What do you hope to? How do you hope to affect change? So you mentioned your daughters, you know, eventually dating a young man and hoping to pour in. But what does success look like for you when you think about your career 15 years from now? What does success look like for you? Whether maybe it's somebody coming back and being like, it wasn't for you type thing.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Being able to be the change that I want to see and sharing my story. Like I said, I came from the statistic that I shouldn't have made it as far as I have. So I'm overcoming daily. So I share my story with my students so they can understand that I'm human too. I'm like you all. I'm continuously fighting every day. Some of the same struggles that you all go through, but it's possible. And it's already happened. Some kids have come back to me, yo, I got accepted in college. I've applied to school, and these are kids that I may have worked with outside in the community, not even in the school, and they just come back, yo, thank you. I work rec centers everywhere. I'm just all over the community. So, you know, people have already come back to me and said, hey, and, you know, at times I'm with my daughter and they come up, hey, Miss Lindsay, and I haven't seen them in years, and they saying these things in front of my child. So now my daughter is looking at me like, all right, Dad, what you saying is not always just blah blah blah. You know, you actually saying some things.
There's
that,
some weight
yeah,
to what
you
you're
know
saying.
What I mean?
Yeah.
So that to me is success. You know, for them to be able to say, hey, thank you. I want them to all be famous. I want them to all be famous in a way that people use them as an example for the next generation. W.E.B. Du Bois, we each one teach one, bring the next one up. So.
There it is. There it is. Are you reading any good books right now?
I've been going back over some of the books I've already read. I have the Ron Clark Move Your Bus book that I just got at another seminar, but I've been going over Leadership and Self-Deception, which is a good book, and I've actually been having some students read that book with me, and Who Moved My Cheese.
What is that?
Who Moved My Cheese?
Yeah, what's that?
You gotta read it, but it's a good book, him and her, and it's just thinking outside of the box, and being outside of your typical square, and getting outside of that and finding out how you can make the difference in your own life. So this is Who Moved My Cheese. Metaphorically, you're thinking like cheese,
yeah.
cheese, but
like who made me uncomfortable?
Exactly.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Tell me talk about some of the things that you do to improve yourself, to make sure that you're always on top of, you know, maybe it's the latest technology that you can share with your students. Maybe you do more workshops like this. Talk to us about what you do to make sure that you are always at your best and you're giving your best for your students.
Always looking for ways to reach them. For one, being here today at this conference is a way that I'm helping improve myself, because it's educators and just men that have been here longer than I have, and I don't mean the educational system, I mean in the world.
Life.
In life, yeah. So, you know, I aspire to receive all my gray hairs of wisdom, and I want that, and you know, I tell the students, I listen to the ones that you don't want to listen to because you think they're further out of reach, but they've been where I'm trying to go. So I'm always listening. I never stop learning, and just keep my attention on things that matter and some of the things that don't matter, so I can know how to stay away from.
All right, hold on. We're not going in yet, but have you seen Black Panther? No. We gotta do the dab. We gotta do the dab. Remember when her and her brother saw each other and then they did that? That's the official. We're gonna try that one more time. One more time. There it is.
I'm done.
There it is.
Bye-bye.
Okay, before we end, I want you to drop one jewel for people watching. You're in education, you're a man of color, you're a father, you're touching kids every day. If there's one thing, if there's one thing that you could what kind of jewel you could leave with people about impacting the world in a positive way, what could it be? What do you want people to remember when they finish watching this video about you? Just one little jewel, life thing.
Well, I could just use what was shared to me by my grandfather. A wise man knows that learning has never stopped, but a fool only thinks learning is over when class is dismissed. So always keep learning. Always learn. You can learn from everybody. The homeless guy on the street can tell you something that can make you richer in life. And then always, my granddad was a big part of my life, so they always treat the garbage man like the president and the president like the garbage man. So it's no divide in how you treat people, because ultimately treating people is what helps us grow.
I like that. There it is. Well, thank you for joining the Cultural Divide again today. It's been great. Thank you so much, Rodney. Continue to enjoy the workshop, and we'll see you guys later.